All right, guys, yesterday we learned how to simplify radicals, just a regular old radical. Today what we're going to do is we're going to review how to add, subtract, and multiply them. So let's start off with some easy. Go ahead and get your, what's it called, notebook out or whatever, okay, because we're going to be writing on some paper. So, I don't know, let's do our addition and subtraction first. So, first problem is this. Okay, when we are adding and subtracting radicals, they have to have the same radicand. So what a radicand is it's what's under the radical. So this one has a 75, this one has a 3. They are not the same, so we cannot put them together. So this is not the square root of 78, okay? What you have to do is you have to simplify them, get them to have the same radicand, then put them together. I'm going to use the tree method because that's the one I like the best. But again, if you like the greatest perfect square one, you can do that one too. So I know 25 times 3 is 75. And then 25 is 5 and 5. So here's my partners. Here's my lonely. So partners go on the outside, lonely goes on the inside. So I got 5 radical 3 from this one, and I still have plus radical 3. Now look at the radicals. Are they the same? Yeah, radical 3, radical 3. What's in front of this radical 3 that you can't see, but you know it's there? A 1. So you have 5 radical 3's and 1 radical 3. Well, how many radical 3's do you have? Yes, 5 plus 1 is 6, and your radical 3 stays that way. Do not try to tell me radical 6. Okay, your radical 3's are like a variable. Those are the same. So like 2x plus 3x is 5x. We don't change the x, okay? Just like in here, we don't change the radical 3, okay? Let's try a subtraction one, okay? Because it's the same thing with subtraction. Same exact thing. All right, so here we go. Do they have the same radicals? No. So we break them down. So let's first do 125. So 5 times 25, right? And then 5 and 5. Okay, so these are all prime. Here's my partners. Here's my lonely. So what is your new radical? 5, radical 5. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and put the subtraction sign. Now let's do 80. It ends with a 0, so we know 8 and 10. 8 is 4 and 2, and then you have 2 and 2. And 10 is 2 and 5. Okay, so circle up your partners. Partners, partners, lonely. Ooh, I have 2 partners, so what does that mean again? 2 times 2 is 4, and then you have the lonely 5. Now look, guys, you have the same radicand. Radical 5, radical 5. So then you can do it. So what's 5 minus 4? 1, and then you still have your radical 5's. Now, would I be mad if you didn't include that 1? No, I'd like it better if you didn't, okay? But there he is. So what do we think about addition and subtraction? Okay, so all you have to do again is simplify until you get the same radicand, then you can do the operation, adding or subtracting. All right, let's do one that I kind of love. I love it because it's so easy. So here it is right here. Now, what this stands for is 2 of these. Now, what's cool about this is when you have 2 of these, you can use your calculator to do it. So if we take our calculator and we do 6 radical 5 squared, it does it for you, 180. Okay, but make sure, you see when I did that, let me do it again. You see how my little blinky is still under the radical? Make sure you get out of there by pushing the arrow, okay? Because if you don't, it's going to mess you up. Okay, see how it's 180? I love those. Those are like my favorite because they're so easy, okay? Now let's try some multiplication. Multiplication is the hardest one that we'll do today. So let's do 3 radical 14. And maybe a little radical 35. I don't know. Try it out. All right, now when you're doing multiplication, you want to just go ahead and just do it, okay? You are allowed to multiply radicands that are not the same. You just cannot add and subtract if they're not the same. But multiplying is cool. What's in front of this, you can't see, but you know it's there. Yes, a 1. So we multiply like terms. So what is 3 times 1? 3. Now, when you multiply the radicals, don't put the radicals in your calculator. It's 14 times 35. So 14 times 35 is 490. Now, do you think you're done? Nope. You have to simplify the 490. It ends in a 0, so we know it's 49 times 10. 49 is 7 and 7, that's easy, and 10 is 5 and 2. So cool, your partner. Oh my gosh, we got 2 lonelies this time. That's kind of weird. Now, some weird things are about to happen, so everybody pay close attention. See this 7? When I try to bring him on the outside, there's already a 3 there. What do you think you do with the 7 and the 3? It's always multiplication, guys, always. If I ask you a question like that with the radicals, it's always multiplication. 7 times 3 is 21. Now, what do you think you do with the 2 lonelies? What did I just say? Multiply 5 times 2. So that one was kind of tricky. We never did something like that before. All right, let me show you just kind of a weird one, and then I'll stop. 2 radical 5 times radical 5. Again, multiply like terms. What's in front of here that you don't see? Yes, a 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. Now remember, when you're doing the radicals, just multiply the numbers. What's 5 times 5? 25. Now, 25 is a perfect square. So we have this 2. What's the square root of 25? 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. So that's weird, okay, right? So when you have a perfect square, the radical is going to go away. So just watch for that, okay? So here, this 2 is right here. Square root of 25 is 5, and that's how you get 10. Okay, again, practice some of your problems before you try to take the exit ticket.